I think Archbishop McCarthy and Pensacola Pace and Tampa Jesuit are still in the top 10 in the nation. So this is definitely the best baseball. There's going to be so many scouts out here. It's just truly phenomenal, and hopefully the whole community will come out and watch us.
Now, what's the schedule for the coaches? I know some of the teams, are all the teams coming in today, or is it just the ones that play early on in the week?
What we do is we bring them in groups of 8. Okay, and there's 24 teams. So the 3As and the 1A teams are here today. They have a coaches meeting today, and we have a little sort of like a little outside lunch for the kids so they can see the field and just relax before the game. And then on Thursday, for Friday and Saturday, we're going to have the 2A and the 5As. And then Sunday, for Monday and Tuesday, we're going to have the 4A and 6A teams. Now, as complicated as that sounds, wait till next year when we go to 8 classes, and I have no idea what we're going to do. No, we'll figure it out. I mean, I just got to thank, Paul Tagliera and Tommy Bose here at the Mets. I mean, we could not do this without it. I mean, E.J. Jackson, Debbie Brousson of Parks and Rec. There's so many people I want to thank, all the athletic directors, all the coaches in the areas that come out and help us. It's just an absolutely phenomenal group of people that I'm happy to work with.
That was interesting last year, John, when I started looking around, and of course, I was with the Bright House guys through the whole tournament. And, you look around and you say, wait a minute, he's a principal, she's a principal, all the athletic directors. I mean, it's like, and you see these guys from like Orlando all the way down to South Florida, and they're helping you work here.
I had actually principals out there doing batting practice in the cages. I mean, I'm very fortunate. I've been around baseball for a long time, and it's been a big part of my life. And it's like having one big party for 8 days with all my friends coming. So I really enjoyed it.
What's your favorite part of hosting the tournament?
Right now.
Right now, the calm before the storm?
Well, really, when those kids come in and they're right behind us, and they come, and some of them have never seen a field as beautiful as this is. When they come in, it always reminds me of TV, the movie Hoosiers. And when they take the small team from Indiana, and they go to the big gym for the state championship, and they're looking at, wow, are the baskets measured the same? Is the free throw the same way? That's the way these kids came in. When they see the dimensions in this park and how beautiful it is. I mean, this is the finest facility in the state. But still, the bases are 90 feet. The pitcher's mound in the same district, and you still get 4 balls and 3 strikes. You still get the same amount. But this is my favorite part right now.
Seeing all the kids come in and the realization on the face that they've made it this far.
And how many teams can you really, we got 8 teams up in the bleachers right now, okay? And those teams are up there. There's no animosity. The teams are talking, with each other and everything. That's why I think baseball is just such a wonderful game.
Now, do you see the kids? They come in and they've got this moment of pure joy in being able to see and amazement, seeing the field and stuff like that. What goes through their faces and their minds when they win it all and they win that championship? Is it just pandemonium?
It's phenomenal. I mean, if those of you that have been here last year and saw everybody as they win, it's just like on TV. It's unbridled joy, and it's an accomplishment. They work all year. It's very, very difficult to get here. These are 24 out of 750 schools that are here. And this is the best of the best, and it's accomplishment just getting here, and then just getting through the Final Four is another accomplishment.
Now, 8 of the teams that are remaining in the tournament were district runner-ups, which means they had to go on the road for all 3 games. Is that an unusually high number? We had a lot of upsets. Usually, the first 2 years, we got 10 teams. Well, last year we had 10 teams or 11 teams returning that were here the year before. I think this year we only have 6. Wow. Okay, so there's a lot of new teams. A lot of scores that kind of shocked me. There was a few blowouts, but mostly there was some very, very high scores. I mean, 10, 12, 14. Digits.
A lot of double digits. Now, if they get double digits in this park, that's something different,
I think one of the teams playing tomorrow is Summit Christian. They've outscored their opponents in the regional tournament. I think it's 39-3 or 39-2. In those 3 games with 2 shutouts. So just some phenomenal baseball. They're scoring double digits, and the pitching is shutting people down, and that's a Class 1A school. Right. What do you think? Do you see that there's much of a difference in play between the 1A and 6A, or is a good pitcher able to kind of negate it?
A good pitcher. I mean, I think this is basically the only sport where a 1A team, if you got a good pitcher and a solid defense, you can go against a 6A team. You're not going to be able to do that in basketball. You're sure not going to be able to do that in football, because you just line up with your big guys and run through them, okay? But in baseball, if you have a good pitcher, that can negate everything on that.
I remember last year, I think it was a 1A team that had a player, and those palm trees right behind the left field wall, he had a shot. Right. And I'm sitting there going, wow, you know, the major leaguers don't hit it that far. This is a kid from a 1A school. Right. So you know that, I mean, you truly do have the cream of the crop here.
And then if we have Orangewood Christian and Westminster Christian are in the 2A bracket, and they're on opposite sides. If they both make it to the finals, and believe me, they'll have a tough road getting there, but if they both make it, that game can feature two teams that had 150 combined home runs.
Wow.
Both of them are in the 70s for home runs, probably more, maybe 160 by the time they get there. Now, can you fathom that number?
No.
Okay, and that's only in 30-something games. Now, of course, they're playing on fields that are a little bit smaller, but I'm just trying to put that number together. That's just phenomenal, you know.
What's good, I think, this year is even though we don't have a true Treasure Coast local school, we've got some schools from the Palm Beaches, Fort Lauderdale.
Right.
So, I mean, for them, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump to get here.
Right.
It's an hour, but it's an easy hour up.
Well, one fact, and I think this really helped us get the tournament, and not just because we had this great field, of course, and the Mets, which was another factor, we're 2 hours away from 75% of the schools in the state. Okay, where we're located. We're right off of 95. But that's something that we put in our bid procedure when we did that we're only 2 hours away. So for example, if you're in Orlando and you know your game is at 5 o'clock, you can come out and you don't even have to leave school early and you could be here. So I mean that takes care of everybody. And even over to Tampa, it's 3 hours. If you got the late game, you can be here for the game. So again, we're encouraging everybody out there to come out to the games.
It's going to be a great time. Now, you've hosted it for a couple of years already. What's your favorite moment or the best play that you've seen? Are you able to watch a lot of the games, or are you busy back room running around?
The early games, I'm usually on the field the whole time, but the early games I'm kind of running around. You know, we had a few plays. There was a kid from Pensacola Pace that made an unbelievable catch last year over the shoulder. There was a Jim Edmonds catch in center field. But I think for me personally, my favorite was last year when Archbishop McCarthy won. Alex Fernandez, who's one of their coaches, who pitched for the Marlins and the White Sox, he's my son's godfather. And I coached Alex for 4 years at Miami Pace. And on his team were 4 young men, and each of these young men, I coached their fathers at Miami Pace, and we won a different state championship with each one. So after they won, we took a picture with my son and the 5 of them and their sons, and you know, winning the state championship and just going a full circle with Alex, that he helped me win a state title, and I was here when he came up here, and I was able to be, you know, run the tournament that he won with coaching his son. It was a wonderful thing, and they're back again this year, so it's just a wonderful occurrence, and that was probably my highlight in my whole career, just seeing that. That was even better than myself winning the state title.
Yeah, that's a great little memento. Greg, you played baseball and you've been around a lot. What's some of the
nothing like this
crazy moments?
We never got this far. Believe me. Actually, we never got to the playoffs. You know, I mean, just thinking about our CIF group that in my generation, I mean, we wound up with probably maybe a dozen major league players that came out of our little group of small Catholic schools in Los Angeles, and you know, I think back on, we used to have Dodger and Angel Scouts at a lot of our games. We had some real heavy hitters on our St. Bernard team. And I'll never forget the Dodger scout, head Dodger scout was there. And he kind of laughed. He said, "Greg, don't worry about a thing. I'm certainly not looking at you." and it was like, you know, he said, there's a possibility you might make it in the American League, but never in the National League. I just thought that was great. I was really relaxed. I was really relaxed after that. And I don't know if you saw that I was really uptight, that was my first game where I'd actually seen a real scout. And it was funny. It was just a real moment. That was my moment. Needless to say, that was not in a field like this. I mean, it was. These kids are so lucky.
Yeah, they are.
To be able to play.
And that was one of my points. I just got done talking to coaches in a coaches meeting. You know, from experience, I was fortunate to come here a number of times. I had, you know, with the teams I had and the coaches I had. But you got to enjoy every moment.
Sure.
Okay. You know, of course we all want to win, but when they're here, enjoy themselves. You know, bring them to a game early. If you win or lose tomorrow, come back and see another game, okay? Enjoy that moment here, because again, look how fortunate they are. I mean, look at this place. It's absolutely gorgeous, you know?
And a lot of these teams might not be able to make it back, so you take advantage of it while you can.
That's exactly right, Mike.
You see it a lot with you know, professionals where they go to their championship series and they get focused in on the game, and they always say some of the biggest regret is that they're not able to kind of open up and take in the full experience. This might not be as crazy as Super Bowl week, but it's a good experience for a lot of these kids.
For them.
And even the coaching staff too. Some of them might not get back. Some of them might have never been here before. And it's a beautiful field. You're playing in a beautiful Digital Domain Park, which is where we are now live. Great broadcast preparing for the FHSAA baseball tournament going on all next week. It starts off, Class 1A plays tomorrow morning. Class 3A will play in the evening in their Final Four championship games for both those classes on Thursday. Friday is Class 2A and 5A with the championship games on Saturday. And then the tournament resumes Monday with Classes 4A and 6A taking set on Monday with the championship game on Tuesday.
Correct.
So is Pace playing in the early game?
Pensacola Pace.
Pensacola Pace?
Pensacola Pace is playing the night game tomorrow night.
Oh, they're playing the night game. I was going to say, because if they were playing the early game, I mean, they're in a different time zone.
They're in a different time zone.
So it's oh yeah, they're Central Time.
Yeah,
so it's like,
they're in a different time zone. I was just talking to their coach, and he said he had a 9-hour trip.
Oh yeah.
But they're happy. But they're happy they're here.
Sure.
I mean, I'm driving for that. You know, it's absolutely wonderful.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what it's all about. You know, it's and like you know, and Danny said it beforehand. You know, the majority of these kids, this will be their last game.
Yes.
I mean, that's just the reality of it, that only maybe 5-6% will even go on to college, let alone the pros.
And how long has it taken you to prepare? I mean, this is a year-round preparation, right?
Yeah.
Do you take any time off when it's over to just kind of go on a long vacation or shut yourself off in a room without any cell phones?
No, I got to go back to my real job, being athletic director. No, I'm very fortunate. I got a great principal, Mr. John Lynch, who kind of frees me up for this time and lets me come out there. It's extremely supportive. But, you know, I got a great group of coaches at Centennial to help us out. But we'll start preparing probably in the summer for next year. Every year we want to make it better and better. And in 1 year we're going to get a local team. I think we had 8 of our teams did make it to the regionals. And I think Lincoln Park and Port St. Lucie made it to the second round. But, you know, one day if we're lucky enough to get Centennial in or Port St. Lucie, and this place will be rocking.
How would that feel for you? You're the athletic director at Centennial, to have them make it to the state tournament. Would that be
I'm going to be the athletic director for the whole tournament. I'm not going to I'm going to be the athletic director for Centennial, and somebody else can run the
taking
tournament.
that hat off, passing that around.
Exactly right, you know. But, you know, one of the things you brought up about being the last game, okay? The story, when I was coaching down at Pace, one of the years we were playing at Leesburg, and this was way back in the 80s before people really concentrated on pitch counts. And back then, one of the 4 teams would be the host school. So we played with Tallahassee, Leon, Okeechobee, and Leesburg. And Leesburg was the host school. So we won our game, and Leesburg won our game, and we're in the final game. And we're playing against Leesburg, and it had to be 4,000 people in the stands. And there was probably 300 from Pace, and there was 3,700 from Leesburg.
Wow.
So the game was a great game, back and forth, back and forth. We go to extra innings. And I had my senior pitcher, Bobby Raffa, who's now a very successful doctor on the mound. And I remember about 3-4 times I went out to him. I said, Bobby, you threw enough. He kept looking at me. He says, Coach, you know I'm not good enough to pitch college. This is my last game. So what? I'm not coming out. He says, I'm not coming out.
That's great.
And he just looked at me, and he looked at me. He says, I'm never going to pitch again. I don't have a scholarship. I'm just here. I'm not coming out. And he went that whole game, and he went 9 innings.
Really? And
we won in the bottom of the 9th. We played 2 extra innings. So it's a great story. And every time I see him after that, it reminds me that I'm just not coming out, Coach, unless my arm falls off.
He's a successful doctor.
Very successful doctor right now.
Wow. Okay. That's great.
That is a great story.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. We are just 2 minutes away now from the final segment of the program. We are broadcasting live from Digital Domain Park in preparation of the FHSAA state baseball tournaments the rest of this week through next Tuesday. So don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Quit Duck Coaches Corner on WSTU.
cheer on your favorite team here at Digital Domain Park.
And welcome back to the Quit Duck Coaches Corner on WSTU and streaming live online at WSTU1450.com. I'm Mike Thomas, and we are out here live at Digital Domain Park, joined by Greg Wyatt and John Messina, the athletic director for St. Lucie West Centennial, as well as the man behind the curtain putting on the FHSAA state tournament going on here starting tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, running all the way through Tuesday evening. And we are at just an absolutely beautiful location right next to the field at Digital Domain Park, right in front of the home team dugout, just a couple of feet off the grass. And it is an amazing ballpark out here. They've done a fantastic job setting up. As Danny Neinstein said, it looks like carpet out there.
It does. It's not, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's amazing. Everything looks great, even just from the dirt. Everything's all perfect, and then the sun is starting to set right behind us here, so that makes things a little bit nice. There was a little reprieve when it went behind the cloud, but it's peeking out now. But it'll get down there, and it'll be very nice, beautiful weather out here. Should be beautiful weather all week, right, John?
I'm knocking on wood. Our first year, Greg's laughing. I wasn't laughing the first year. It rained, it poured every day,
did.
but yet we never missed a game. Now one game. It poured. It got so bad that it was raining in the parking lot, but it didn't rain on the field.
Oh, wow.
And our field superintendent, Tommy Bowes, who won a state award for taking care of this field, I don't know how it happened. I know I did a lot of prayers myself. I think I buried rosaries out in left field. But it poured. And that's when South Fork was here. And their final game, the weather in this area was horrible. It was a 100% chance of raining. We still had 2,000 people in the stands. But we had hundreds of people not going because they thought it was pouring. Well, at my school, it was underwater. Across the street, it was underwater. It did not rain on this field during the game. I don't know why, but it did not rain. But that first year, every single game it rained. But we were very fortunate.
And your school, Centennial, it's not that far away,
No.
like 5 minutes away?
2 miles away.
Yeah,
2 miles away. Yeah.
And so it rained pretty much all around the stadium, but not
It
here?
did not rain over the stadium.
Did it rain at all? I mean, did it rain during any of the games?
It rained at batting practice down the corner over there, but it didn't rain on the field. In fact, I think one game we couldn't have batting practice, but it did not rain on this field.
Wow.
So I don't know why. We were very lucky, very fortunate. Like I said, Tommy does a great job with this field.
And it's